The following podcast contains strong language, some sexual content, and definitely constant use of the word fuck. Listener discretion is advised. Hello everyone, welcome back. How you all doing? The recording thing says device sample rates do not match. Please check the audio hardware preferences, which I've done more times than enough. They're all set properly. I don't get it. But we're not going to talk about that. Instead, we're going to talk about Linux. Yes, for the last few days I've been having issues with the Linux, the operating system, and it's quite a thing. In the older version, right, that I was working for stops to test my games and my apps, everything just kind of worked, but I had an issue with installing the graphics driver. Every time I went to install the Linux-based graphics driver for my graphics card, it would either shit the bed and take a dump, and I would have to reinstall it and just start the fuck over. And even if I wasn't using the Linux partition a lot, which I haven't for the last month or so, and now I actually do have to use it, I can't, because it just keeps taking a shit. I recently upgraded to Ubuntu 19.10, right, and I figured, hey, why the fuck not? This should work this time. And now it's kind of a fucking half and half. For a while, it was working. Everything was great, but I could not install the graphics drivers. Now I can install the graphics drivers, and it looks amazing. It looks beautiful. But when I go to install anything else, it's like, no, I don't want to install that. I know that you want this put in, but I can't. I have tried installing. I've only installed like 4 things on here. Discord, so I can talk to my lady. Steam, so I can use my gaming engines. The graphics driver, and the system updates. That's all it is. That is all there is. That's it. That's all there absolutely is. And it still shits the bed. I haven't been able to do anything. I'm having trouble trying to download shit. It's just ridiculous. It's stupid. It's crazy. When I try to go onto the forums and ask for help, everyone is kind of helpful in a sense. You know what? That's just lying. They're not helpful. They're really not. The one thing that I get a lot of is, why would you have a dual boot system? Just go ahead and just replace Windows and just install Linux and just be done with that. Maybe that's it. And I know for a fact that ain't goddamn true, because operating systems of this caliber can be installed in a dual boot system. And some people are like, well, just don't use Linux anymore. You're a Windows guy. You don't know how to use the interface. You are clearly having trouble and problems, and you're not willing to learn. That is also not true. When I first used Ubuntu, it was easy. I picked it up like nothing. It was like a fish to fucking water. That's how well I took to it. And I like the terminal thing. It's just like you copy the text that you're supposed to type in, and it comes in, and you read it, and stuff happens. It reminds me of my MS-DOS days. Yes, I used to use MS-DOS. Don't say nothing. Don't even. And, the interface is good. I honestly can use it. I have been using this version of Linux, this distro of Linux since, what was it, 16 something? I'm not good with the version numbers, so don't worry about it. But, picking it up and using it was never an issue. The issue here is getting stuff to just fucking work. And of course, unfortunately, I get that one guy who comes in and says, just use a VM. Stop trying to install it on your computer. Use a VM. There's your solution. Here's the thing. If I can't even run it on my machine, it won't work in a VM. And most of the time, the apps that I need, like Steam does not do very well in a virtual machine. And virtual machines are more like for temporary use, before you commit to some things. What I need them for, my games and apps, they have to run in an actual installation of Linux and have everything they need. Because in a VM, a lot of shit gets restricted and you have to configure it and you gotta adjust it. And a virtual machine, just like any other operating system, does take up memory. So instead of having Windows run a virtual machine, which takes up memory, while Windows is also taking up memory, it's not a good idea. It's not. But if I have my own version of an operating system installed on my computer, if I have Ubuntu in its own partition, doing its own thing all by itself, I'm in like Flint. We're talking like the easy street here, and that makes sense anyways, because I am going to be not just testing, but also building the games in this OS. So having something a little bit more on the permanent side would be helpful. Really would. And God, this is the one thing that Linux needs. This is the one thing it needs more than anything. It needs actual people who legitimately want to help. Now that I thought about it, there's a second thing it could really use. Not just helpful people who actually want to answer your fucking questions, but also people, not people, also like what is it? Okay, I gotta calm down. In Windows, whenever a program is taking a shit, or you get the blue screen of death, or something just goes wrong with the operating system, you get the BSOD, and it tells you this error message, which I can look up. I can totally look that up. It's like, yeet, and then I just put it in Google, and it's like, okay, this error occurs because of these problems. It's all streamlined. And from there, I can go from there. I can't begin to tell you how super fucking easy it is to find just any problem in Windows, find out what the cause might be, and then just test it, and analyze it, and study it, and then I fix it. That's so easy for me to do in Windows. It should be like that in Linux. Because right now, as it stands, even when I'm updating the system, it just hangs. And it's not like it enters into Ubuntu, I log in, and it does the thing. No, it hangs booting up. And the error message doesn't really make any sense if there is an error message. All it says is that it's put the system on hold because it's processing something, and it never reaches where it's supposed to go. It's like it just restarts and then does it again, and then just restarts and then does it again. We're looking at a good 26 minutes in after installing the OS, and I'm stuck at this particular point. And I can't understand why, I can't figure out why, and no one's really given me an explanation as to what the fuck is going on. It's just so sad. It's really sad. I know that there are a lot of people who say that Linux is better than Windows, and to some degree, they are right. But this new version of Ubuntu, with the nonsense of, hey, I'm just going to hang here for a little bit, I'm not going to tell you what's actually wrong, and you just have no way of getting in without trying to fix it. I don't know what it is. I honestly don't know what it is. I have seen this error message. It's popped up all the time. The OS is completely frozen. I got nothing, man. Absolute the fucking nothing. I'm doing a trial and error thing. And even now, I'm just as stuck as I was before. I have installed just one of these things at random. Just one. Just one thing, and it's like this hung up. And then I'm like, okay, so this is what's causing it. So I go and try and install the other app. It hangs up. And then I take another app and I keep throwing stuff at it, thinking which one is gonna fucking be the one that says, hey, the problem is this. And it doesn't work. It's like anything that I install. It's like if I just have Ubuntu by itself, as lonesome, doing its own fucking thing, It runs perfectly. Don't install anything. Don't do anything. System updates? Yes, that's great. That's fan-fucking-tastic. That's cool. It's fresh. I'm hip. And then, all the fucking sudden, right out of fucking nowhere, I will install one goddamn thing as I didn't get a chance to use the program. It's just, I don't understand it. I really don't understand it. So, I have to come to just the process of the elimination. Somehow, some way, this new version of Ubuntu just does not want to run on my computer. I don't know if it's the configuration of the machine, which it's pretty straightforward. I don't know if it's just a bug or a glitch that hasn't been panned out. I don't know what the fuck it is. So, because I cannot pinpoint exactly what is causing the problem, I'm just going to roll back to the other version of Ubuntu, the LTS, which I wanted to avoid doing because I really like keeping my OSs up to date, and according to what I've heard from people, this newer version of Ubuntu fixes a lot of problems that I had in the LTS. It's like, hey, this version of Ubuntu Desktop was shitty, so now we've got this version which is improved, and it's fixed a lot of stuff, and things just work. That's the only reason why I did this. I want to make it as easy as possible for shit to just fucking work, and it just fucking doesn't. And I'm very upset. I'm very bothered by this. I'm very stressed because, man, I got shit to do. I've spent more time trying to figure out this fucking OS than I have in just getting the work I need to get done. Of all the things that they could do, of all the things that they could work on with this OS, make it just easy to fix and figure out why the fuck shit's not working. And, come and tell me about it and something. It would be really great. Alright? And because I'm really sick and tired of hearing, just throw it in a VM. That does not work. I'm sorry. It just doesn't. I cannot do the work of I need to calm down. You can probably hear the frustration in my voice. I honestly, clearly, truly just don't like it when something is incredibly simple, and this is incredibly simple, becomes monumentally complicated because it doesn't know how to actually just fucking work. And it sucks that I have to roll back to a previous OS and deal with the problems I had there and try to see how I can fix it. God damn it. This is not how that's supposed to be. It really isn't. But it turns out this is a thing, so fine. Whatever. We're gonna do this. I'm not happy. Very upset. I'm so upset. But what can I do? That's just another day in the life of a developer. And it's just sad. And that's all I'm going to say about this before I get too frustrated to the point where I'm just ranting and rambling and probably saying constant use of the word fuck. Thank you very much for listening. I do appreciate it. I was GodOfKnockers, and it was really nice talking to you. Now, if you excuse me, it's now round 7 or 8 with this Linux system. Wish me luck. Laters. Hey guys, thanks again for listening to this lovely podcast. If you want to listen to more, head over to anchor.fm/GodOfKnockers. You can also find this on Spotify and on iTunes. Just search for Real Talk with GodOfKnockers. Thank you very much for listening. Have a good day and play some games. Put your hands up,